You're watching the PoliticIt Podcast.
Good evening and welcome to PoliticIt Podcast. I'm Senator John Johnson. We got Brooks Benson with us, candidate for Senate District 11.
Yes.
So you won the Republican nomination.
Yes.
Right.
That was a fun little battle. It was great. It was a very cordial race and worked really hard, and it paid off.
Yeah, pretty amazing. You came out of convention in first place on the first round.
Yeah, not typical in a three-way race.
Yeah,
it worked out.
Yeah, you were over 70%, were you?
Yeah, it was a 13%, and I had 73%. So
wow, pretty amazing, actually.
Yeah, I knocked a ton of doors. I really hit the pavement, worked hard, met a lot of people, really refined myself as a candidate through the process, and ended up coming out on top. And it really was a great experience.
Yeah.
And now I'm doing that for the general.
Yeah, I think you kind of surprised some people. I was pretty sure you were going to win, but I didn't think you'd win on the first round.
Yeah, that's what surprised people the most. I was a convention-only candidate. One of the other...
so you didn't even have a primary.
Yeah, I didn't even have a primary because we didn't... we had a guy also who I was running against that also went convention-only, and somebody else that gathered signatures but went that route but wasn't able to collect enough, and so I ended up getting over the required threshold of 60% and made my life easy.
Yeah, made you the only candidate on the ballot.
Yeah.
Now you've got the Forward Party person and it's mainly the Forward Party person, right?
Mainly the Forward Party. I also have a Democrat.
Okay.
So it will be another three-way race out there, but again, I'm working hard, making sure that all.
Now your Forward Party candidate, unbelievably, is actually the incumbent.
Yes, yeah,
right.
Weird situation made that possible. So don't know if
Daniel Thatcher kind of left and switched parties on his way out, and
yeah. It was a weird situation. It's been corrected now through the legislature that so that kind of scenario can't happen again. But yeah, not quite the will of the people in this scenario, but we'll make sure that changes through this next election.
Yeah, well, good for you. So what's on your agenda now?
Oh, just right now it's obviously I'm very focused on making sure that I win in November, which I very much should. But now it's learning a lot and meeting people and building relationships and making sure that I can be an effective legislator. And it's been great getting to know people too.
Yeah.
I can't tell you how delightful it's been to meet everybody, to get to know them, learn from them. There's a lot of wisdom up on the hill right now. A lot of people that have had a lot of experience. It's also been fun getting to know people from the past as well that I didn't even know was in the legislature, and I'm learning about them, and they're giving me advice, and it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, well, it's kind of interesting. You've kind of dove in with both feet, so to speak, and
yeah, that's kind of my personality. It's how I go at things. 110%. As you can imagine, for anybody, something like this would be pretty exciting, especially if you have a passion for politics and trying to do good things. And when you find those like-minded people at the same time, and all of a sudden you're surrounded with those people, it lights a fire. It makes it a lot more fun.
Yeah, it seems like you've really kind of taken off. I know you've been involved with Senate caucus.
Yeah.
You've started coming just to kind of get your feet wet and kind of learn what's going on. This is kind of a strange year because we've got a lot of new people coming into the Senate.
Yeah, this is with 5 new people coming in on the Republican side.
Yeah,
that's a big change.
Yeah,
It's it's the only change I'm ever going to know because I haven't been in the Senate there. I can imagine it's going to be a unique situation for the current.
Yeah, I think it's unique. It's probably the most for the last several years since I've been in there.
Right, and
we had quite a few come in when I did, but
yeah. I feel like we got a very good, unique bunch that will bring a lot of different ideas and different strengths to the table. I've met with them a few times now. All of them are great, and it's going to be fun. I think it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah. So legislatively, what's on your agenda?
Something that has been it's refined over the past few months, but it's something that I've been passionate about for a long time. But it's really hit the track these last 3-4 months in the public eye even, but that's been the flock camera debate.
Yeah.
And mine always started on the flock camera side too, but I didn't realize how focused I actually needed to be if I were to tackle an issue like this, how focused I would need to be on the Fourth Amendment side of this issue. This is what we are truly seeing, what it really is about. It's not really about cameras. It's not really about the technology itself. Is what it is the Fourth Amendment and protecting that and fortifying that to maintain what it was meant to be when it was first created.
So let's talk about that.
Yeah.
What exactly are you getting at with that?
Yeah, so what we've seen over time, in my belief, and when I look at this issue, I say, hey, Fourth Amendment was created in 1776. We love that issue. That protects us from a lot of things, specifically illegal searches and seizures, right? Over time, and it took a long time before technology got to a point where we see a lot of that chipping away at the Fourth Amendment, where you can circumvent the Fourth Amendment, or where you can bypass it and make it to where we didn't consider data at the time. We didn't consider cameras at the time. We didn't consider a lot of things on what privacy is, on what could be searched and seizures. Not just your home anymore. Eventually, we had a car. Well, does the car count as property in a legal search within the car? Because it's a privilege to drive, right? And
right.
So we had to define that. We adapt as we go. But technology in the last 30 years has changed all that, and I feel like are a little bit behind on making sure we keep up with fortifying and transcending the Fourth Amendment beyond any technology or any innovation going forward. And I want to look at that, and I want to tackle that and make sure that stays the same. And I think you've probably seen it now. The op-ed article that Congressman Dr. Mike Kennedy put out just recently, I had a chance to read that. It's an amazing article. If you haven't had a chance to read it, go read it. It really describes.
Why don't you explain kind of what he's talking about in that article?
Yeah, same kind of thing, but going forward, hey, technology is starting to get in the way of our freedoms, and we need to find that balance. We need to figure out where it is that we do have privacy on things. When is it okay for the government to protect our safety, and when does it go beyond that to where it's an invasion of privacy? And we always need to protect the Fourth Amendment, protect our rights within the Fourth Amendment, make sure that's fortified. And he eloquently puts that argument in a few different ways that, in my opinion, really illustrates what we're trying to do. It's every legislature across the country should be trying to do it. He obviously makes that call as well, but it's something that I think would be a fun challenge to tackle.
Yeah, where's that line between mass surveillance, where you're watched at every moment, right?
Yeah.
and when do you cross that line, right?
Yeah.
And it's an interesting debate.
It is, because you think a lot of people think that you forfeit all of your privacy once you're in public.
Right.
And that's not quite the case. It is a little bit, and there isn't. There are some cases where you still have a lot of privacy, and we need to protect that.
You say, well, you're outside now, and so is it okay for a camera to be watching you all the time? And it really does.
And at what point does it become stalking too? Because, like, for instance, I can go outside, I can film somebody. I have the right to be able to do that without being punished, right? But let's say that person doesn't want to be filmed, and they start walking away, and they say, "Hey, I don't want to be filmed," and they're walking away, but I keep following them, and no, I can't. There, at a certain point, it becomes harassment or stalking. I can't do that, right? And the government shouldn't be able to do that either.
And now with all of these cameras that are everywhere, it's hard for you to go anywhere without being on a camera.
It is hard. And that, you actually bring up another good point too with, it is one thing, people make the argument, well, we're already being tracked. You have a phone in your pocket, right? It's not the same. There's a reason why these companies that are trying to aggregate all your data into one place, centralize it all into one spot, is because right now, with all of your data and your tracking, everything that they are, all the cameras, they're all decentralized right now, to where if someone were to go get all that information and then put it together and analyze it, they'd have to go get a warrant here and get a warrant here and go through the process here, go through the process there, and then collect it all together. That's a lot harder. So which is why like a company like Flock or others that are aggregating data, there's a want for that in certain spaces where people are wanting easy access. They're wanting it to be in one place where they can query it and not have to search around, analyze it, or compare data together. That's what we should be trying to avoid. That's the scary part about what we're seeing here.
Right. Well, we're going to take a break, and we'll come back and talk about this in some more detail.
Okay.
Thank you.
Tired of media bias? Frustrated by political noise? PoliticIt.com cuts through the clutter, giving you real facts, clear analysis, and unbiased insight on the issues that matter most. Stay informed, stay empowered. Whether it's elections, policy changes, or breaking news, we've got you covered. No spin, no agendas, just truth you can trust. Visit PoliticIt.com today, because informed citizens shape the future. PoliticIt.com, where politics meets clarity.
Welcome back to PoliticIt. We've got Brooks Benson with us, and thanks for coming in.
Yeah, absolutely.
I've been wanting to talk to you since you got elected, and
you're a guy that I've hired for a long time in the Senate. I've watched it.
Yeah, it's actually nice to sit down and talk. This whole idea of the flock cameras, though, I just, there is a line where you say, yeah, we should have a right to privacy, but for safety, we want to be able to put this information together, right? But at what point do we cross that line?
Right, and I hear a lot of arguments that are good arguments. They're emotional arguments. They're arguments that tug at you, and you go, hey, what is the balance here? Should there's a case to be made that this technology is helping solve a lot of crimes.
Right.
It's helping go through and it's saving children, or it's protecting, people from getting murdered, or it's catching, solving crimes in general, right? And I get that argument, right? I understand it, but when you think about it, the Fourth Amendment since 1776 has prevented law enforcement from solving a lot of crimes.
Right.
Should we get rid of the Fourth Amendment?
Right.
No, we shouldn't get rid of the Fourth Amendment, even though the Fourth Amendment currently in its current state, prevents a lot of crimes from being solved.
Right.
But it is a protected right to that there needs to be, you need to have a warrant. You need to have a reasonable suspicion. You have to have evidence. You have to have a true reason to search something or have something seized from you.
Right.
And we don't want to stop that. So when I hear the argument of, hey, it helps us solve so many crimes and it helps, I totally understand that. But the Fourth Amendment's there for a purpose.
So where will you go with this legislation? What's your thoughts at this point?
It really is, in a sense, pieces of it, one at a time, trying to fortify the Fourth Amendment as it currently stands. We want to make it to where it is as effective as it was in 1776 to today's technology and today's time. And so it's more on the data side, and it's more on the data brokering, making sure that how that data is accessed, stored, used, utilized, for what purpose. Those are all really important things. And to first and foremost, law enforcement does a great job. And they're using the tools and every tool that they can at their disposal. They also believe in the Fourth Amendment. They want to make sure that people's rights are protected, that their own rights are protected, right? We should all be on. I really do feel like this is a bipartisan issue.
Yeah.
That is everybody should feel about.
Should you have a camera on you at all times?
Right.
Right. I mean, and how long should I be able to retain that data? If I'm protecting my own home, that's one thing, right?
Yeah.
Where I've got the cameras and I'm keeping an archive. But the problem is with AI and other things now, it becomes a pretty powerful weapon.
Right. And we've seen a lot of abuse. Again, a lot of these are one-offs. We want to make sure that abuse obviously doesn't happen. So we want to make sure that those things are prevented. The warrant system was there to prevent and make sure that there is a process and a guideline for being able to search someone's home.
Right.
That we want to protect that in all aspects, not just, we want to define what is your right to privacy. To give you an example, we all believe that someone should be able to put up a camera to secure their home, secure their property, and their safety. That doesn't mean that they can use that as an avenue to then collect a ton of data so someone can be profiled or somebody can be, analyze their behavior and over time figure.
Yeah, you think about the whole Minority Report thing where it comes to a point where there's a pre-crime unit and they try to predict.
They're trying to predict behavior, right?
Who's going to do what and where they cross the line in a big way there is where they arrest people before they commit the crime, right?
Which we had to say, I wish we could show it. There was a lady not too long ago who just went through all of this where a law enforcement came to her door and said, look, I've got you on camera. You stole a package off of somebody else's doorstep. She's like, but I didn't. I really didn't. He's like, cut the lies, very confident, very confident that he had her on camera stealing that package. And she even said, I have other evidence that I wasn't there at that time and I was somewhere else. And he's like, not giving in, not allowing that as her to defend herself in any way. Like, I have the proof. It's 100% there. And he says 100% a couple times that I know it's 100%. I wouldn't have come to your door if I wasn't 100% confident. It ends up not being her. It ends up being somebody else on the camera that it wasn't actually her and they got it wrong, right? Now that's not going to be every single case, but the fact that we know that it happened, it still isn't 100% correct.
Right.
We've got to not saying that it doesn't work and not saying that it doesn't have its benefits, but at the same time, we have to understand where some weaknesses are and where it could be wrong, and give that benefit of the doubt, because we get into that minority report situation, I think we're in for a lot of hurt. I don't think it's a good situation for us as citizens.
Yeah. So your legislation, what's it going to do?
I'm exploring that so much right now.
That's what you're trying to determine.
Yeah, I'm trying to talk to everybody, because at the end of the day, I'm not going to make the decision, right? I'm not going to be the one that is the end all be all on this. There is so many people that have worked on this for so long. Christian Chevrier, for instance, she has been such a proponent of this for a long time. And
from a privacy standpoint.
From a privacy standpoint, and from just a Fourth Amendment standpoint, from just making sure that we're trying to do the right thing. She has put so much work into this for so long, and she's luckily invited me to be a part of what she's been doing and explore with her on this. There's a few other legislators as well that have been doing some great things on this and working on it for a long time. And so I'm super excited just to be a part of that. And there's a lot of opportunity with it. I don't know where it will go yet. It's too early to say where we need to be, but I do want to make sure that we're not in the details down here, that we're kind of in this this architecture on top, so that we can build that kind of foundation to build to fortify the Fourth Amendment.
Right.
I don't want to just say one little thing here or make it about specific technology, because it's not about specific technology. It's about the Fourth Amendment and just making sure that the latest innovations in technology comply
with the intent of
the Fourth Amendment as it is. So.
Well, we're running short on time, but I want to just shift back for you to your election. What should voters know about you?
Oh, that I'm excited, that I have a lot to learn, that I have a lot of energy to make things happen, and that I really want to make sure that my community is, my district is well represented, that they're listened to, that they have somebody that cares about them and that understands the Constitution and wants to protect their rights, understands the needs of our communities, which happen to a lot be road infrastructure, energy, water. Huge. Everybody's talking about water. It's a big deal. And
these are issues that are really important to you.
Really important to my district, really important to my communities, and something that I am really looking into and trying to resolve. And I feel like I'm the leader. I feel like I can build those relationships. I have that social intelligence to be able to strategize and make sure the right things get done and accomplish them and be successful. And I really believe I'm the right guy to do that.
Very good. So why don't you make a pitch?
Yeah. No. Hey, we're seeing a Utah change in a lot of different ways, especially our area. My area, District 11, is the highest growth area in the entire state. We deal with problems in a way that no other district deals with. And luckily, we've got a lot of legislators that realize that, notice that. They also have family that live in the different parts of District 11. They see these needs. And so it's been really cool to see that. It's been really awesome to work with these guys. And I feel like we have a really good opportunity to get the things that we need out in our area, but also change and shape legislation for this hyper growth that we're seeing and adjusting to, that oftentimes we become the outlier in. And so that's what I plan on changing. That's what I plan on shaping and helping fortify our area and making sure that we can grow with Utah the right way, and that Utah as a whole becomes a better place. So that's kind of my pitch. That's where I'm going with this.
Yeah, very good.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thanks for coming in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Brooks Benson, District 11.
Thanks, guys.
See you next week.